Hey third graders, this is Miss Griffiths again, and this is our baby literary essay session number 5. It's the last video and assignment of this week, and this is going to be about creating a plan or an outline for a baby literary essay. Okay everyone, so this is where you should be with your work at this part of the process. If you recall from video number 4, where I ended was that I had come up with 2 strong, powerful thesis statements about the boy who cried wolf. And I have them written on notebook paper ready. Maybe you have yours in a Google Doc. The next thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to pick one of them. I'm going to pick the one that feels more powerful to me, or the one that I feel most excited about writing more about. And I'm going to show you guys how I would create an outline for it. Remember, you should know this from our persuasive unit and from past units. An outline is like a plan for your paragraphs, a plan for what each one will have in it. So, friends, this is like a template for your outline. This is going to be on our website too, and please use this template, use this format for yourself. So I'm going to walk you through it first, and then I'm going to show you mine. I already did the work just to save time, and I'm going to show you how I thought about it and what I did. So creating an outline or a plan, I'm going to have 3 paragraphs for my essay. An essay is always at least 3 paragraphs. As you guys get older and more advanced, you'll have multiple paragraphs, more than 3. As you should know, for any type of writing really, paragraph 1 is your introduction. You always have to introduce what your writing, your essay, your story, your chapter will be all about. And 3rd graders, you know that the first sentence should be some sort of lead or hook that's going to pull your reader in, get them excited to read more. And that could be a question, it could be a quote. I'll show you my ideas in a moment. After your lead or your hook, you're going to have the thesis statement that you chose. It's going to be thesis statement number 1 or thesis statement number 2. And I'm not going to write it out in my outline, but when I'm ready to write my actual essay, I would use exactly what I did last time. Now, paragraph number 2, remember this would be some space and you'd indent, it would be a new paragraph in your writing, is going to be your reasons and your evidence. It's the body. So I can do this in 2 separate paragraphs, I can do it in 1, it's up to me. But my reason 1, I'm going to think about 1 really strong reason why I think the thesis that I think, why it's my opinion, and evidence, examples, maybe a quote from the text. And then I'm going to have my second reason with my evidence, example, or quote. Remember, when you do this, you're going to be looking at your annotations. You don't have to come up with brand new reasons. It should be in your post-its, and it should be in some of the text that you highlighted. If you have more than 1 reason, more than 2 reasons, if you have 3 or 4, that's excellent, but it's okay if you don't. We're going to ask that you guys have at least 2 strong reasons in the body of your essay. Then you guys also know that the last paragraph of any type of essay or writing piece is your conclusion, where you wrap it all up. So we've talked about how it's really a smart and strong idea to go back to and restate your thesis. It's a good idea to reword it, don't just copy it exactly the same. And of course, 3rd graders are going to start with some sort of transition that helps the reader know it's the end. So you might say, in conclusion, to sum it all up, again, blah, 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 your thesis statement. Last, and we talked about this in our persuasive unit too, what do you hope your reader thinks or does next? What are you hoping that they walk away with after reading your essay? Are you hoping that they make a change in their own life or thinking? Are you hoping that they do an action that would help? Are you hoping that they teach or tell others? What do you hope that they do? Do you want them to read the fable themselves when they're done? All right, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys in this quick video is I already did this. I already made my outline for The Boy Who Cried Wolf, and I'm going to walk you through it. First off, I gave it a title, but I'm going to come back to that because I didn't do the title till the end. I couldn't think of a title until I did all this work. So I did that last, and I'll tell you about that at the end. All right, so just like in my outline template, paragraph 1, introduction, lead. And I did write out my lead as my question. I really want to grab their attention. So I said, have you ever heard of a fire alarm being pulled as a prank? Can you imagine what a boulder problem that would be? So I want my reader to start thinking about that. Maybe they have heard of that happening. Maybe that happened to them when they were a kid. Maybe like they can really imagine from being a student how terrible and bad that would be for the school. And then for my thesis statement, guys, all I said was use number 2. If I go back, this is my number 2. I'm not going to take the time to write the whole thing out because I'll write it in my essay, but this is the thesis I'm going to use. The Boy Who Cried Wolf teaches a moral that is still important today. You should never joke about important things like safety because people around will take you seriously. So I'm just writing use number 2, and you guys could do that as well, just to save time. You don't have to write it all out in your outline. So that's my paragraph 1. As you can see, I'm ready to write it when I go on line paper and start next time. Okay, paragraph 2 is my body, and I'm gonna have my 2 reasons and my evidence. I'm just writing quick notes to myself. I'm not writing all the sentences out yet. I'm just telling myself so I know what I'll write when I do. So my first reason, I wanna go back to that fire alarm example because I wanna pull in my connection to school and my life. I wanna write a little bit about how if that were to happen, the entire school would think it was real and everyone would stop their learning to go and do the right thing for the fire drill. Some kids might be taking an important test. Some kids might be having their hard-earned recess time. Teachers could be in an important meeting. People might be scared because it wasn't a planned drill. They'll think it's real. So I really want to talk about more about what a problem that would be. Then, of course, I want to connect to my text, my fable. You have to connect to your fable, your text, because this is a literary essay. So I want to write about how in the fable, of course, the villagers kept coming when the boy yelled, even though he had pranked them once before. And this will be in next week's video, but I'm definitely going to use a strong quote that I can use to prove it and make my reasons strong. So I'm going to obviously write more when I write my essay, but my whole body will be about these 2 reasons and examples. Then in my conclusion, my last paragraph, I started with the transition, in conclusion, and then maybe I'll write something like this. This is why you should never, and I'll talk about thesis number 2 again. This is why you should never be dishonest and prank other people about important things like safety. I want to end by kind of saying what I hope the reader does or doesn't do. I want to say, don't be like the boy in this fable. We would all be safer if everyone took safety seriously and never pranked, if we were always honest about it. So I'll write it better when I write my actual essay, but I'm just helping myself. I'm putting down these ideas for myself. If you guys end with this kind of outline today, like me, when you start writing your essay next week in our final couple of videos, it's going to be easy for you because you can just use and pull this and just write it more clear and as complete sentences and edit. Okay, everyone, that's it for me for this week. Me and Miss Pintamali and Miss Lamera are so excited to see your literary writing work when we have our one-on-one conferences with you this week, and we're so excited to help support you in any ways you might need to do this work.